have my block all carved out, I'm ready for a test print. I'm going to move over to my printing station. My printing station needs to have at least 2 layers of newspaper laid underneath. I need to have ink, a roller, a hand baren, and a palette knife to get my ink out. I also need to have one of these clear trays that I'm going to stick my ink on for my rolling platform. I'm going to make sure that I stick my plate right here so that all the ink stays there. My hand baren is going to stay with my test paper. It's the scrap paper right over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. When I open up my ink, your teacher will take it, and you only need a small amount, and you're going to stick it on the plate. I'm then going to take my ink, make sure I seal it back up, take my palette knife, and I'm going to stick it there. To roll my roller out, I'm going to go over the ink and back, over the ink and back, and then I'm going to create like this until I hear a sticky noise, so it will be like this. Take my ink, roll it out. It does not require a lot of ink. Listen carefully. Hear that sticky sound? That means that my roller should be inked up good enough to print here. So I'm going to make sure that all my inky stuff is out of my way. I'm going to take my roller and I'm going to very gently roll over my surface. Notice all the raised areas become black. I'm going to lay my roller back on the ink. I'm going to carefully, without touching the ink, move my plate. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to line it up in the corner. Now I'm going to take my hand baren and holding firmly, I'm going to press down. You'll know that you're applying the right pressure in an area when you start to see the ink coming through. See how the ink is starting to come through? This is a test print, so it's okay if it's not perfect. It's letting us know if we have any additional carving that needs to be done before we can do our final print. To know if it's inking good, I can lift a corner and I can check it. I want it to be a little darker than that. So I'm going to apply more pressure. Like a band-aid, I'm going to carefully rip it off. And there's my print. Notice I got a lot of ink up in this crevice. I think my paper moved. I might consider trying one more test print before I go into my final, because that would be a blurry image right there, those two leaves merged together. Over here, this becomes lost. You can't really tell what's going on. I might decide to carve that out completely, and I might make any other small adjustments. My hearts look good and my middle looks great, so that area I'm going to leave fine. So I'm going to run one more test print before I decide if I need to wash my plate and carve a little bit more. See how right here the ink is blurring in? Right there I know that I got ink in the crevice, but here, right there, just right here, there is no ink in the crevice, so I'm not sure what happened. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to try it one more time. Now that I have two test prints, I can identify that this print had too much ink on it, because this print turned out nice. This area I might question my design on.